Guaranteed. Somebody made a call. Hey. I think a Bay Zoo here, bro. Hey, Bay Zoo here, bro.
New footage just hit the net, and the streets are talking heavy. The clip supposedly shows some of Lil Durk's own people chilling with the dudes tied to THF Zoo's murder, and it's got the whole hood in disbelief. From O Block to the burbs, everybody's debating what's real, what's fake, and who really broke the code. Here's the full rundown. Who put the target on Zoo? October 25th, 2025, 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Just another day in the chai where dudes was supposed to be chilling, hitting licks at the auto parts store, staying out the way. But for Devonshire, THF Bezu Collier, a 35-year-old drill rapper who'd been running with Lil Durk's Only the Family since day one, this ordinary Saturday was about to turn into his last day breathing. Real talk, Zoo wasn't out here moving sloppy or nothing. He pulled up to this pick and pull spot in Little Village, that South Lawndale area, right off the 3100 block of South St. Louis Avenue, just trying to grab some parts for his whip. That's it. No posting on the gram, no flexing, no dissing, just a grown man handling regular civilian stuff that any of us would do without thinking twice. But see, that's the thing about the streets. They don't give a damn about your regular day. When ops want your top, they'll catch you slipping at the grocery store, the gas station, or in this case, the damn junkyard. What went down next was straight execution style, no cap. Some unknown vehicle slid through that parking lot with the kind of precision that lets you know this wasn't no random beef or spontaneous crash out moment. Nah, this was calculated, orchestrated, the type of move where somebody did their homework and knew exactly where Big Homie would be at. Bezu had two other cats with him. One was 39, the other 42, when the ops let them ratchets sing. And bruh, I'm talking about turning that parking lot into a whole war zone. They wasn't playing. Over 100 shots got dumped in that lot. Over 100 rounds. Not 10, not 20, a whole 100 bullets flying through the air like it was Call of Duty in real life. Crime scene techs recovered 20 rifle casings and 19 9mm shells scattered all over the concrete, each one telling the story of how bad these dudes wanted Zoo gone. 5 different whips in the lot caught strays, looking like Swiss cheese when it was all said and done. Windows blown out, metal punctured. That's how you know the ops came with every intention of making sure their target ain't make it home. Zoo was the main target, ain't no question about that. He caught multiple shots to the stomach and chest area, then bullets tearing through vital organs and blood vessels with the kind of damage that even the best trauma surgeons struggle to fix. The other 2 homies with him got hit too, but their wounds wasn't as critical. The 42-year-old took rounds to the arm, back, and lower body, while the 39-year-old's injuries had him listed in fair condition. All 3 of them got rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, but soon as them paramedics pulled up, everybody knew Zoo was in bad shape, like really bad shape. The footage of this whole hit started circulating on social media, mad quick, spreading through X and YouTube like wildfire. These videos, raw, uncut, and mad graphic, showed the exact moment the shooter's whip pulled up and started dumping. You could see bodies dropping, dudes scrambling for cover, the pure chaos of those few seconds when life turns into a fight for survival. Mainstream news outlets like ABC7 and Times Now refused to post the footage because it was too explicit. But that ain't stop it from racking up thousands of views across the net, with everybody adding RIP captions and graphic content warnings.
3 men hospitalized after South Lawndale shooting, police say. 3 men were shot around 3 p.m. Saturday in a parking lot in the 3100 block of South St. Louis and South Lawndale after someone in an unknown vehicle opened fire. The victims, a 35-year-old man in critical condition and 2 others, ages 39 and 42, in fair condition, were all taken to Mount Sinai Hospital.
When Zoo touched down at Mount Sinai's ER, he was critical, and that's putting it light. According to the word on the streets from people close to the situation who've been talking to hip-hop blogs, Bezu had basically flatlined at the scene, or right after. His heart stopped pumping. His body started shutting down completely. But them EMTs, trained to fight death even when it looked impossible, managed to bring him back during the ambulance ride. They resuscitated Big Homie, pulling him back from the edge, but it was only temporary, a cruel delay of the inevitable.
So the ambulance that came, right, he was already basically dead. Like, he had been dead for a minute. I don't want to say he died immediately, but Zoo had already been dead by the time that the ambulance came. When they revived him and they resuscitated him, he actually came back to life.
At the hospital, the doctors and nurses was working overtime, trying everything they could think of. They started pumping blood into Zoo through transfusions, trying to replace what his body had lost from all them gunshot wounds. But here's where it got even more tragic. His body was rejecting the blood. His system, already traumatized and broken down from the massive damage, wasn't accepting what they was pumping into his veins. The bullets had done too much damage, destroyed too much tissue, severed too many blood vessels, created injuries that even modern medicine with all its technology couldn't fix. Zoo was slipping away, and there wasn't a damn thing anybody could do to stop it. Meanwhile, about 30 people rushed to Mount Sinai when word got out. Homies from the block, family members, OTF, and THF affiliates, all of them trying to get to Zoo before it was too late. The scene outside that hospital was emotional as hell. His baby mama pulled up. His main girl, Tiffany, an older woman who'd been holding him down, was there too. According to people who was present, got tense between the two women. Grief and shock making everybody act out, while Zoo was fighting for his life just feet away. That's the messy reality of these situations. Emotions running high, relationships complicated, everybody trying to process trauma in real time.
But anyways, so there's 30 people that come, like, you know, his homies come through, his baby mama come through, his girl is there. If y'all don't know, you know, shout out Tiffany, you know. But, you know, Zoo got an older woman. Zoo has an older woman.
By early evening, the doctors had to deliver the news that nobody wanted to hear. Zoo was brain dead, in a vegetative state. His brain had been without oxygen for too long. Even if they could somehow stabilize his physical body, the man who was THF Bezu, the rapper, the father, the homie, the soldier, was already gone. What was left was just a body kept alive by machines, a heartbeat maintained artificially, basically a cruel illusion of life that only prolonged the agony for everyone who loved him. Zoo's mama, and you gotta understand, no parent should ever have to go through this, initially couldn't bring herself to make the call. How could she authorize them to pull the plug on her own son? To her, the dude in that hospital bed wasn't a 35-year-old street legend. He was still her baby boy, regardless of how many years had passed or what kind of life he'd lived in them streets. The doctors explained as gently as they could, her son was essentially gone, his body just going through biological motions with zero hope of him ever waking up or recovering. Friends and family cycled through that hospital room, saying their final goodbyes to a man who couldn't hear them anymore, offering condolences to relatives who was already mourning, even though that heart monitor still showed a rhythm. And then, in the early morning hours of October 26, 2025, after hours of heartbreaking deliberation and with mad reluctance, Zoo's family made the impossible decision to withdraw life support and let him go.
So the family is still struggling with actually pulling the plug. So they pulled the plug early this morning on him, and he's no longer with us.
The machines got turned off, the artificial breathing stopped, and Devonshee, THF Bezu Collier, 35 years old, father to 7 kids, rapper, real one, and a product of Chicago's most unforgiving blocks, was officially pronounced dead. According to sources who spoke with What the Word, Zoo passed around 7:00 p.m. on October 25th, 2025. Chicago took yet another L. News of Bezu's death hit social media with the kind of speed that only tragedy in the digital age can generate. Initial reports was all over the place. Chicago Hits, a Spot News account on X, posted confirmation around 4 p.m., but then deleted it pending full verification. Some accounts was saying he was stable. Others was insisting he was critical. That confusion that always comes with breaking news on social media created a brief window where hope and denial existed at the same time. But by evening, the truth couldn't be denied no more. Duty Low, one of Zoo's closest homies in the OTF camp, dropped a tribute on Instagram that said everything without saying nothing. Just a dove emoji and a pic of Bezu. No caption needed. If you know, you know. Within minutes, thousands of reactions flooded in. That post became a digital memorial, a place for dudes to gather and grieve in an age where mourning happens through screens more than in person.
Yo, it's your boy King Yella, man. Bezu was shot 2 times in the chest, man. Yesterday, man, we had people posting like he passed away yesterday. Had people posting like he was in stable condition, people like he was in critical. But now today I wake up and see everybody saying rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace, man. And I know this done broke a lot of y'all hearts, man.
Other OTF and THF members followed suit, sharing raw audio reactions and written tributes that captured that numb grief that hits when you lose another soldier. THF Rome posted audio breaking down how desensitized they all was to death, talking about how they lost a big face out of THF. And here's the part that made this whole situation even more messed up. Lil Durk, currently locked up in a federal facility fighting RICO charges, got the news while sitting in a cell, completely powerless to do anything, couldn't attend no no funeral, couldn't comfort Zoo's family, couldn't pour out liquor for his fallen homie, just trapped behind bars processing another devastating loss, while the streets continued taking everything from him. According to unverified posts from people allegedly close to the situation on X, Durk broke down when he heard the news during jail phone calls. While we can't confirm that for certain, it rings true to anyone who understands the deep bonds in OTF. Here was a dude who came up from them same trenches, made it to wealth and fame that most couldn't even imagine, and still couldn't protect his day ones from the streets that raised them both. Fans and peers flooded the timeline with tributes. Cheericology and UK Drill subreddits turned into digital wakes with hundreds of comments processing the loss. Durk going insane. In that cell, Zoo was his day one user typed, speaking for everybody feeling the same way. Real Steppa, real guy. RIP Bay Zoo, another added, acknowledging Zoo's authentic reputation in a scene full of cappers and clout chasers.
And unfortunately, I feel away too. Me and bro 35 years old. And, even he from the other side, but me and Zoo done chopped it up a couple times, man, on some grown man. So I could say that he sat there, done called me yellow, man, ooh, grown. You know what I'm saying? We done had them conversations, man,
One particularly haunting piece of content that resurfaced after Zoo caught that body was his last known Instagram Live, recorded just days before the hit. In this casual, off-the-cuff session from what looked like his crib, Zoo was addressing his ops with a mixture of that tough guy bravado, obvious exhaustion, and, looking back, almost prophetic awareness of the danger surrounding him. Rocking a black OTF hoodie, chain visible, red cup in hand, he spoke directly to the camera about that timeless get back and the enemies who was watching his every move.
Can't argue with no trolls. I am a troll. This is what I do. I get on this tweet with y'all all day, every day.
The video, running about 4 minutes total, hits different now, knowing what happened just days later. Here was a dude who understood the street mathematics better than most, who knew that every action got an equal reaction waiting somewhere down the line, who recognized that in Chicago's gang politics, debts get paid in blood no matter how much time passes. He wasn't naive about having a target on his back. He just chose to live his life anyway, refusing to let fear lock him in the crib, even though that choice would ultimately cost him everything. CPD classified the shooting as targeted, gang-related, and as of October 27, 2025, just 2 days after the murder, no arrests had been made. The investigation is still active, with CPD's Gang Intelligence Unit on it, but let's be real about solving gang murders in Chicago. Witness cooperation is rare as hell, surveillance footage usually inconclusive or missing, and the no-snitching code that governs street politics means even people who watched everything go down will claim they ain't see nothing. But the streets talk, even when witnesses won't, and word on the streets had theories about who caught that body and why.
Y'all asked what the hell he was doing there, and this is, this gangs, this is the SA part of town and all this stuff and everything and blah, blah, blah. And I get all that, but also over there, he was getting a part for his car.
The most persistent rumor circulating right after the hit pointed to the Black Disciples set known as Bashville Crazy from around 71st and Wabash. According to street sources speaking on X and other platforms, this was allegedly payback for the February 2024 murder of a BD member known as Man Man, who himself got smoked for allegedly killing THF one of Zoo's close homies from THF. If these rumors hold weight, we're looking at a revenge cycle that stretches back through multiple bodies, each murder spawning the next one in an endless loop of get back. THF got killed in February 2024. Man Man allegedly got dropped in response, and now, 8 months later, Bay Zoo, one of the most recognizable faces of THF, got executed in broad daylight, presumably to even that score.
Guaranteed, somebody made a call. Hey, I think Bay Zoo here, bro. Hey, Bay Zoo here, bro. What? Yeah, Bay Zoo here. Hey, for real? Hell yeah. Oh, say less. We finna pull up. You know what I mean? That right there is textbook. Somebody dropped location.
The theory that somebody dropped Zoo's low, meaning snitched on his location to the ops, gained major traction in online discussions. The way this hit went down suggests serious planning and surveillance. Zoo wasn't randomly spotted. The shooters knew exactly where he'd be and when, rolling up with enough firepower to guarantee the mission was complete. Over 100 shots ain't desperation or opportunity. That's execution with overwhelming force, the kind that requires planning, coordination, and somebody on the inside feeding information. Adding another layer to this already messy situation, the beef allegedly traces back even further to 2023, when luxury watches got stolen from rapper Lil Zay Osama, who's tied to the STL EBT faction. THF members was allegedly involved in what the streets call a backdoor move, a snake move, a violation of trust, which sparked mad tension between the groups. After Zoo got killed, Lil Zay Osama's younger brother reportedly posted memes on IG mocking the death, adding fuel to an already explosive situation and potentially setting up the next chapter in this never-ending cycle. This is the reality of Chicago gang politics in 2025, a tangled web of grudges, alliances, backdoors, and get-backs where the original beef becomes almost meaningless because so many bodies have piled up on top of it. You smoke my mans, I smoke yours, you retaliate, we respond, and the cycle continues until whole generations of young dudes is decimated. The Black Disciples, one of Chicago's largest and most organized sets, split from the Black Gangster Disciples after leader David Barksdale died in 1974. They've been beefing with OTF and THF's Black P. Stones affiliations for years. DOJ reports highlight their role in Chicago's ongoing violence, with over 100 homicides tied to various BD subsets since 2020 alone. Zoo's death fits right into this broader pattern of territorial disputes and faction warfare that's turned Chicago into one of the most dangerous cities for young black men in America. As one Redditor on Cheericology put it, real talk, they want Zoo out the way. The days of recognizing all your ops over with once you hit 30 plus. That comment captures a disturbing truth about modern street beef. You can't simply age out of danger. Zoo, at 35, should have theoretically been past the most dangerous years. Most gang members who survive into their 30s have either relocated, caught long bids, or reached some kind of informal peace with rivals. But Zoo remained visible, remained affiliated, remained in Chicago, and remained a target.
But unfortunately, man, being in them streets and being in Chicago, man, when you come from that and you in the wrong places, it can happen. Like I always tell people, it can happen to you no matter what, 10 years later, 20 years later. When you in them places, man, it could just happen.
From the trenches. Now that we understand how Zoo's life ended in that parking lot, we need to understand how it began and what shaped him into the real one known as THF Bezu. Because this wasn't just another drill rapper chasing clout and IG likes. This was a certified street dude whose whole existence was woven into the fabric of Chicago's South Side, for better or worse. Born around 1990 in Chicago, though his exact birth date ain't confirmed in public records, Devonshee Collier grew up in Englewood, specifically around 63rd and Normal. If you don't know about Englewood, let me put you on game. This ain't just a neighborhood, it's basically ground zero for everything that's wrong with how America treats its black communities. We're talking systemic poverty that ain't just statistics, but the lived reality of families choosing between keeping the lights on and eating, under-resourced schools failing generation after generation, over-policing with no actual protection. This is where young black boys get initiated into gang structures, not because they inherently criminal, but because gangs provide the structure, protection, and belonging that legitimate institutions failed to offer. From jump, young Devonshee was immersed in the Taytown Hustlers family. Everybody know it as THF. This was a Black P. Stones affiliated organization connected to the 051 Young Money subset, operating in territories where colors, hand signs, and which block you from could literally determine whether you live or die. Not much is documented about his immediate family, his parents, siblings, or the specifics of how he was raised beyond the harsh realities that define Southside life for so many. In the rare interviews where Zoo opened up about his come-up, he referenced what he called living in the trenches, hood slang for existing in the absolute worst conditions, where survival requires getting money by any means, dodging police and ops, and navigating a world where legitimate paths to success feel impossibly far away. This wasn't some suburban kid making bad choices out of boredom. This was a shorty growing up in an environment where gang affiliation often represents the most stable institution available. His youth was marked by devastating loss and the development of street armor that would both protect and ultimately doom him. In his 2023 No Jumper Sit Down, one of only a few times he really sat down with media, Zoo reflected on the mental toll of drill culture with remarkable self-awareness. He talked about becoming numb to death, about the crazy emotional compartmentalization required to function when your homies becoming bodies at an alarming rate, about how it hits different when it's your day ones catching slugs.
It's your boy Big Zoo, man, THF Zoo. Instagram, Big Ball Zoo _46, man, OTF.
It's your boy Big Duty Low, man. Bald head Richmond. It's your boy D-Ski, aka The Threat, man. We just jumped off
Up
the
the
porch.
porch with the
Dirty Glove Blaster.
man. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
This mindset, this emotional defense mechanism that young dudes in these environments develop out of necessity, shaped Zoo into what the streets call a real stepper. A stepper ain't just somebody who talks tough on wax. It's somebody who really with it, who prioritizes loyalty and that day one energy above personal glory, who lives by codes that outsiders might think is backwards, but which represent survival mechanisms in communities where police can't or won't provide protection. Despite all the chaos constantly surrounding him, Zoo credited music as his therapy, something that let him process grief, establish his identity, and create something beyond the destructive cycles eating everybody alive around him. He started rapping as a young teenager, not with dreams of going platinum or nothing, but as a form of therapy, a way to get pain out that had nowhere else to go. But before music could offer him any kind of legit path forward, the justice system came down on him in a way that would define his entire 20s and scar him permanently. In July 2009, at just 19 and barely out of his teens, Zoo got jammed up for the fatal shooting of 21-year-old Dominic Barnes. The incident happened during 4th of July weekend on Chicago's 47th and Forestville, another casualty in the territorial beefs and personal vendettas that had been claiming lives in these neighborhoods since forever. Here's where the story gets wild and shows just how broken Chicago's justice system really is. Zoo didn't get knocked immediately after the incident. Instead, he lived under suspicion for 5 full years, from 2009 to 2014, before law enforcement finally moved to arrest him. When they did come for him in November 2014, they made it dramatic as hell, raiding Lil Durk's crib where Zoo was at, effectively linking him publicly to one of Chicago's rising drill stars, while simultaneously getting him off the streets.
Like, bro, the case that I was fighting my murder on happened 4th of July 2008 or 9. Don't quote me because I don't remember, like, I've been through so much afterwards. I didn't get arrested for a murder charge in 2014, so you do the math.
5 years later.
The charges was as serious as it gets, first-degree murder, which in Illinois carries potential sentences from 20 to 60 years, or even natural life depending on how the judge feeling. Zoo would spend years fighting for his freedom from inside Cook County Jail, one of America's most notorious county jails, known for overcrowding, violence, and conditions that basically punish dudes before they even convicted of anything. The case against him was built primarily on witness testimony, notoriously unreliable evidence that's led to countless wrongful convictions throughout American history. Among these witnesses was his ex-girl, who Zoo would later claim in multiple interviews had lied on him out of pure spite and bitterness after their relationship went left.
So somebody told on you at a later date?
Somebody lied on me at a later date.
Right. And what, like, so why was that enough though to get you actually like held for
It wasn't,
4 years?
Bro, like, it's just that bad. They want to off the street. Like, it was hearsay from the jump anyway. You feel me? No eyewitnesses got on stand, but it's 5 people got on stand on me in trial. 5 people, and I still came on, inshallah, you know what I'm saying?
The years locked up was transformative in ways both profound and permanently damaging. In that 2023 No Jumper interview, Zoo described with haunting clarity the psychological torture of sitting in a cell while his homies was getting smoked on the outside, powerless to slide back, unable to participate in the street code of retaliation that had defined his entire adult life. He watched his day ones fall through contraband phones and word-of-mouth news filtering through the jail's social networks. Each death was another wound that couldn't heal properly, because healing requires closure, and there ain't no closure in Chicago's endless cycles of get back, the survivor's guilt, the rage at being caged during what he saw as his duty to respond, the helplessness, all of it compounded into trauma that would follow him even after his eventual release. But against all odds, against a system seemingly designed to ensure his conviction, Zoo beat the body. In December 2017, after years of legal battles, continuances, appeals, and the slow grind of a criminal justice system that disproportionately impacts black men from impoverished hoods, Zoo walked out of Cook County Jail a free man. The acquittal came after key witnesses recanted their testimony, and the prosecution's case fell apart, revealing the dangerous fragility of cases built primarily on unreliable testimonies rather than concrete evidence. His release came at the perfect time. Lil Durk was experiencing his own meteoric rise in the rap game, transitioning from Chicago's local drill scene to national prominence. With mainstream success that opened doors for his whole crew crew. Durk, who'd maintained contact with Zoo throughout his bid through phone calls, letters, and putting bread on his books, immediately took action to celebrate his homie's freedom. Durk flew both Zoo and King Von, who'd beat his own murder case just a month after Zoo's acquittal, down to Atlanta for what was supposed to be a simple celebration of survival. But during a casual session at Durk's spot, somebody jokingly suggested that Zoo and Von, having both recently beat bodies within weeks of each other, should commemorate their shared victory with a song. What started as jokes in Durk's basement quickly evolved into something way more significant. They called in an engineer, and without writing down a single bar or pre-planning any verses, Zoo and Von went back and forth off the dome, creating Beat Dat Body in one spontaneous, magical session, fueled by genuine emotion, shared experience, and the euphoria of dudes who'd stared down life sentences and came out on top.
And Durk flew us down here, you feel me, took us shopping and we, I said it on my No Jump interview, you know, we was just really just in the basement. On Durk Live, we set a live up there. They was like, damn, you Zoo and Von just beat they murdered one apart from each other. Y'all should do a song.
The track was everything authentic drill should be: raw, aggressive, celebratory, and completely honest. It became one of Zoo's biggest records, resonating with fans who appreciated its unfiltered energy and the genuine brotherhood you could hear in every bar between two dudes who'd beaten the system that chews up and spits out so many young black men from their hoods. But freedom came with mad restrictions. Zoo got put on house arrest with electronic monitoring for 4 years, a lengthy period that severely limited his ability to capitalize on his newfound musical momentum and the street cred that Beat Dat Body had earned him. While other OTF members was touring nationally, performing at festivals, building their brands through constant visibility, Zoo was largely stuck in his crib, able to make music in home studios, but unable to fully engage with the industry machinery that transforms underground rappers into stars.
You know what I'm saying? I finally just got off the band a month ago. I've been on house arrest for 4 years.
So you can move around freely now.
Yes, that's why I'm telling you, it's on the flow with us, man. You hear me? Like, I ain't been able to been around my brothers for real, for real.
Despite these restrictions that would have made many dudes bitter, Zoo remained intensely loyal to OTF, particularly to Durk. He repeatedly credited Big Bro with feeding the trenches, providing financial support, legal assistance, and opportunities to THF members when they needed it most. This loyalty wasn't for the gram, it was genuine, rooted in shared experiences and mutual respect, forged through years of navigating Chicago's treacherous street politics together. As Zoo entered his mid-30s, he represented something increasingly rare in Chicago drill, an OG who'd survived long enough to offer perspective on the costs of the lifestyle he'd lived. At 35, he was old as hell by drill standards, having outlived countless peers who fell to gun violence, long prison bids, or the spiritual death that comes from becoming so desensitized to human suffering that you stop feeling, period. His personality, as described by those who really knew him, was a fascinating contradiction: stoic yet empathetic, intimidating yet generous, cautious yet stubbornly loyal to street codes that increasingly felt like dangerous relics actively destroying everyone who clung to them. Peers like Duty Low publicly described him as the glue holding THF together, praising his quiet generosity in funding funerals for fallen homies without seeking clout, providing financial support to members' families when they was locked up, and serving as a mentor figure to younger members who looked up to him as somebody who'd survived what kills most people from their environment before they turned 25. By late 2024 and early 2025, Zoo had finally completed his house arrest and was beginning to pursue his music career with renewed focus and energy. He was actively working on his first real solo project, building a professional team around him, and even giving back to the community through youth baseball coaching, trying to provide young black boys with alternatives to the street life that had consumed and nearly destroyed him. At 35, father to 7 kids, in a relationship with an older woman known to homies as Tiffany, Zoo was attempting to balance the seemingly impossible, maintaining his street credibility and loyalty to his set while simultaneously building a legitimate future that might let him escape the same violent fate that had claimed Von, Duck, and countless others whose names never made it beyond local memorials and IG tributes. Like this video? Click on the card showing on your screen for more.